Fundamental basics of life. So there are all these people that are out there doing these things, and they've got to learn from someone else. And unfortunately what happens is they learn from their peers. And their peers don't have a lot of knowledge because they're the same sort of age, yeah? And the reason that some peers are smarter than others is because they've probably read a book or they have someone putting into their life. And I think we have a responsibility there as well to put in their life. These are the generations to see what your generation is. You've got the seniors, which is before 1925, 85 plus. Any of them in the room? 85 plus? No. The statistics in 2000, these are all statistics, but it says in 2000 there was 0.94 million in Australia, made up 5% of the population. But then it goes on to the builders, which is 26 to 45, 65 to 84. Who's in that category? There's a few here. Great stuff. There are evergreens. 2.75 million, 15%. And then it says the boomers. 1946, 1964. Who's that? 46 to 64. Look at all the boomers in this place. Look out. We're booming boomers. 4.75 million, 25%. Generation X, 1965 to 1981, 29 to 45. Come on, who's the Gen X? There we go. Pastor Anthony. Oh man, this is such a young man. Then Generation Y, 1982 to 2000, 10 to 28. Who are they? There they go over here. Some of the last service. They're floating around everywhere now. They're not just coming to one. You'd go to that again, did you? That was your wife, I think, wasn't it? Then you got Gen Z. I don't know what they're going to do after Z. What do we do? Go back to A? But you got Gen Z, which are under 9-year-old, making up about 1% of the population back then. But you know, when we were at the Australian Pentecostal Ministers Fellowship, there was the C3 Church. It was chaired by a C3 Church from a guy on the other side of the town, and then there was Phil Pringle. Then they both brought in their youth pastors, the young adults pastors. And there was one guy there named Josh Kelsey, and the other one was Andrew McGruther from Brisbane. And Josh himself in Sydney, in Oxford Falls, he has around about 1,500 youth, and he has 34 services a month. He's got hundreds of home groups and so on. And so he came up, and they flew him up to just speak into the heads of the movement that were there. And he spoke into their lives and told them, how do we reach Generation Y? And, you know, I took some notes on this sort of stuff, but I've also done some research and added a few extra things, but it's countless what you can find out about Gen Ys. And if we're going to go be people that will actually feed and go out and then go back, we need to be able to mentor people. We need to understand who we're going to mentor and who's coming through, yeah? And so if we just show you what some of the things that came out of this meeting, and also some of the things I've picked up. See, Gen Y wants to know why before the what, or they were rejected. They just don't know what you want them to do. They want to ask you why and know the reasons why. Don't just tell them, explain why. The next thing is they're feeling-based and not knowledge-based. In our time, if someone said to us, this is the truth, I would say, yep, I would believe, or I'd look into it, but knowledge was truth. Nowadays, knowledge isn't truth, experience is truth. Feelings are truth. Don't tell me you love me, let me feel it. Yeah? They say that they can pick a phony a mile away. They hate hypocrisy in people. They look for a challenge to be involved in something bigger than themselves. I remember when Josh was there, Josh was on Twitter, the pastor, the young fella. He was on Twitter and he said, look, I just before I came to the meeting, I just thought I'd check a few responses and put it out to Twitter, to the young adults in my group, to find out, you know, the story. Well, he had hundreds come back to him. And he said, oh, look at this. I can't read them all. But he went through a few of them, which is quite interesting. And some of this is coming from it. They want responsibility they're singing out for. They love technology, arts and entertainment. They need to be loved where they are and show them how much you love them. We see the young people going down the street, boom, 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 the car, and you're driving beside it and your heart's going, and you're looking around and say, who's that? You know, and they got the windows down, they're going for it. How many times we go home and say, hey, you rat bag, man, you know? But really, we've got to accept them, we've got to love them where they are, right, and help them through some situations. Doesn't mean they're wrong, they're just a different way. You put these things in their ear and you can't hear you know. It's quite amazing. Do you like the little fella down the bottom with his pants halfway down? Isn't that true today? See you just having a bit of a laugh. I thought I'd better mention that. I just feel like going down and dacking them sometimes, you know what I mean? They're right down. I saw one the other day and his undies are up here, but his pants were actually right in the bottom of the cheek. And I'm going, how do you hold that up, mate? You must walk like this, you know? It's crazy, you know? And you see him running. You just feel like, get a life. But you've got to accept them, you know what I mean? Others, they just know you're not loving them. This is true, young people. It's crazy, eh? Oh, dear. They're sceptical. They're also sceptical. They don't want you to sell them, to do a hard sell on anyone, all right? And they're very hungry for the truth, for the deep things in Scripture. And they're wanting something radical. They don't just want coffee and tea. They want mixed together. This is what they're saying out there. We saw a movie last night, and it was we went to the movies, and it was a movie with the war stuff in Iraq, and they're running, you know, with the cameras, and they're running around the whole buildings with them. And you know how the photography today in movies, and it's jumping here and there. And I was getting so frustrated because I couldn't focus on anything, you know what I mean? Like, I just wanted a nice still shot. You know what I'm saying, oldies, eh? Yeah? Right? It's everywhere, and I'm going, oh, slow down. And every time when they go and walk in the building, they think, whew, my pressure's off. You know, I was getting so intense, you know. But to us, it's distraction. But to the young ones, it's exciting. It's action-packed. When we have all this stuff going and blaring and all the stuff flashing and carrying on, these lights are going off, you know, with all the music and everything, the young ones are going, this is exciting. Well, we're going, this is distracting. All right? So we've got to understand both sides because there's new generations coming through, but the oldies are still here. So we've got to work through together, but there is a new generation and it is a new day coming through. See, they're relationship-based instead of program-based. Even though a lot of relationships are done over the net now and over Facebooks and all sorts of stuff. Now listen about Facebook too. Anthony said to me it's the actual, what is it, the person who's driving the Facebook that controls it. It's not the tool, it's the problem, it's the person using it. It's not the tool, it's the problem who's using it. It's the people who's using it. And, you know, there's so much destruction on Facebook. You see it in the news and so on. You've got to be so careful with it. And, you know, all the ones previous to it. And so, you know, if you need to know what your children are watching on Facebook or talking on Facebook, they should at least give you their password. If they don't give you their password to go and to have a look through it, well, maybe they're hiding something. Maybe you just need to talk and have some relationship open or have a computer that's open that everyone can see. Because there's so much cyberbullying going on and there's so much going on, it's wrong. And we need to be careful of that as well. But it is a great tool if you just want to contact people and so on. We need to keep up with it. They have a desire to be equipped. They have a desire to be trained and empowered. I'm wondering if the young people here, you know, we see young people here, a lot of them are being mentored by other people here. But you know what? You may be sitting here today and you might be saying, I've got nothing to hand on. I've got nothing to relay on. Well, that's wrong. That's a lie from the devil. You have something to hand on. You could be 5-year-old and you know how to spell cat. You got something to hand on. We all got something. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's time that we actually speak it out and find someone that we can speak into their life. It may be someone your own age, but there's someone out there that we can impart and go back and train. A couple other things I found that's not up there is Generation X is truth. Their knowledge is truth. Y is the experience of truth. And they have this whatever mentality, you know. Talk to the elbow, you're not worth an extension, whatever sort of stuff. They're heart-based. Gen Y is seeking after more than just friendships. They want community, they want understanding, they want acceptance, respect. They want to be included.